Hello, welcome guys to the Corner Taking Quickly podcast for the Fantasy Premier League. I am Nikhil and with me is Srinath, and here we are once again to discuss about the previous game week and preview the next game week. So, how are you, Srinath? How was the game week?
Fine, man. It was fine, as in not up to my expectations, but still it was well above average, and I happened to see a green rank and a green arrow in front of my rank. So
Nice.
pretty happy about that. So yeah. What about yours?
Mine was very good compared to the last few months, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Finally achieved, I got 66 after taking a -4 hit, and I jumped in every league I was in, so I was happy after a long time. I was
That's a
free
good
falling
thing.
like
Yeah.
Arsenal before that. So
Hmm. But yet here we are again. Arsenal continues to fall.
yeah.
Um,
So
but moving to the preview for the game week.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
So
let me start from the very basic question: who shall be your captain in the game week starting?
I have a differential choice for Mane because he always scores against Palace. He has
Okay,
nine
so you bought
goals.
in Mane.
No, no, I haven't gotten Mane, but I'm for viewers. If anyone has Mane, he would be a better choice because he has scored 9 goals in 11 games against Palace, even when he was with Southampton, and has created 14 clear-cut chances against them. So Mane does perform against Palace every time, especially away from home. So I think Mane could be a good bet. Plus Wilson, Wilson also could be a differential captain because he's playing against Fulham. And Newcastle can score, but they'll also concede. So otherwise, uh, Bruno against Leeds, not my first choice, but since he's a United player, but he's a good choice against Leeds because Leeds will concede goals.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what would be your
Um,
choice?
so just as you said, I'm just in the fix between making Salah the captain. Salah, since he's been ever reliable from in FPL since he arrived at Liverpool, but Salah again has performed really well in the past 6 game weeks. I took a -4 hit just to bring him in because I considered him as an essential to have him in my team,
Yeah,
regardless of what the condition is. So I removed Mahrez to bring in Salah, along with downgrading Chilwell to Reece James. So it was one area I had to suffer, but considering Reece James has performed really well, considering his value as compared to Chilwell.
yeah,
So like considering that, and resumes always bombs up the field, and his crosses are really good. So there's always that assist potential, but Chelsea aren't scoring that many goals. So considering having Chilwell or Reece James and having a decent clean sheet potential is any which way is fine. But coming back to the captaincy takes, for me,
yeah,
it's I'm just in the fix between Bruno Fernandes or Salah, as I said before. There's always that differential captain of making Mane, as you said, and there might be another pick. If you have him in your team, Mahrez is a very good option because again, Southampton play high up the pitch. They have a high line, so considering how wingers like Son have performed against Southampton. Maybe it was just an aberration, that performance, but still, Mahrez still can be a decent option. But there is always KDB. There's always that potential for that for those 3 assists, 3, 4 assists in a match because he always creates chances. So it's
yeah,
upon the forward players to convert them. Had Kevin De Bruyne converted the last two chances against, had someone converted those last two chances, for that matter, when he put in the cross and Sterling and missed in the header. So there were a couple of opportunities which could have multiplied his score in the last game week, but still, I still like to think that Kevin De Bruyne still is a very good captaincy option. But for me, in my personal team, it's always between, for at least for this game week, it's between Salah or Fernandes.
I had a question on Twitter, like, what about DCL versus Arsenal?
See, Arsenal again, considering the last two fixtures what Everton have had, one against Leicester and then the other one was against maybe which team? Um,
They lost against.
yeah. So just a second, I'll just get in my fixture list. I just forgot. He still it was a very tricky defense. Yeah. So it was against Chelsea and the other one was against Leicester. And like
Yeah,
considering the
Everton won
opposition
against
team,
Chelsea.
yeah. So I still presume that DCL is a decent option because Arsenal isn't as good defensively as compared to a Chelsea, and still
And Gabriel is suspended.
uh, yeah, that also. So it seems like a good shout, but again, Arsenal are still defensively quite solid. They're not conceding 3 or 4 goals per game. It's just that 1 or 2 goals here or there that they're conceding,
Yeah,
which ends up like catastrophic for them. But apart from that, I don't think DCL is that great a captaincy option as compared to the likes of Fernandez or maybe Salah for that matter. But again, Salah, the only reason why I don't want to captain him because it's because of the early kickoff. Uh, so I have this thing, whichever player who I captain having an early kickoff generally does not seem to perform for me. So it's just a
yeah,
mental thing for me. But against even Leeds, Bruno Fernandes, if Manchester United score an early goal against them, they'll be all the more attacking forward. So, considering they have good stamina, but still Bruno Fernandes gets into those attacking positions from where he can score or assist. So, seems like a very good option. Yeah.
yeah. So moving on to the like, who would you take as a must-have from considering the fixtures?
So at this moment, it's like the four midfielders for me who are a must-have, and I'll
Yeah,
not talk about forward line and defense because it's based upon your team structure, right?
yeah,
So it's upon you whether you want to have heavy hitting midfield or heavy hitting forward line. For me, it's the midfield line. So for me, the four heavy hitting players are Son, then Salah, and Kevin De Bruyne, and then Bruno Fernandes. These are the four players I'm luckily I'm having the luxury of having all those four players, so I have my bases covered. But at least even two of them, and along with the Grealish or for that matter Zaha, and having an heavy hitter over the top, maybe like a Kane or a Vardy, seems like a good enough pick. But at this point, considering that Tottenham's fixtures get decent after game week 16, they are facing Fulham and just check. I'll just let you know about the teams they are facing. Yeah, they're facing Fulham, Leeds, and Aston Villa in gaming 16, 17, and 18. And even after that, they're facing Sheffield United in 19. So those are pretty good fixtures, right? So for me, I'll after a couple of game weeks, I'll try to bring in Kane instead of one of the midfielders. So that's my plan. Yeah.
so moving on to the next topic, we were going to discuss about the blank game weeks and double game weeks coming up ahead.
Yeah.
So
So, for the viewers, I'll just like to interject here. For the viewers, I'll just explain to them what are double game weeks and blank game weeks are, right? So,
yeah,
for instance, in game week one, Manchester City, Aston Villa, Manchester United, and perhaps Burnley did not play their first fixture, right? So this means that since there are only limited game weeks and you have to complete the tournament on the time schedule. You have to compensate those game weeks with some other by compensating the matches they've missed into another game week, right?
Yeah.
So as of yet, we don't have the news about when shall United and City would be playing that match which they missed in game week one. But here, the 10 teams are not playing their matches in game week 18, and their fixtures are being postponed to game week 19, right? So
Yeah.
this means that teams like Chelsea, Leeds, uh, then Fulham, and Manchester United, Liverpool, all these teams are playing the match on next game week. Teams like Tottenham, City, Arsenal still have their game week 18 matches. So players like Salah, then your Bruno Fernandes, then Ben Chilwell, Reece James, Nick Popes, then even of West Ham United's Mikel Antonio, Sufal, your Gerard Bowen, all these players would be having double game weeks in game week 19, right? So those are the players which you should look to target, but
Yeah.
we'll slightly touch upon the strategies at this point, but make a detailed video of how to proceed with the things in terms of your strategies in the next video of ours. Do follow us for that.
Yeah.
And for the time being, it's what is your strategy, Nikhil, about how to proceed the double game week?
Since there are still 4-5 game weeks left, uh, if you have wildcard or a free hit left, I would prefer to keep hold on to them
Mhm.
because it's a blank game week for I think more than 50% of the teams, right? If I'm not wrong.
Right. So, exact 50% of the teams are not playing this time around.
Yeah.
And this is one of the bigger double game weeks that is going to happen, even in
Yeah.
case of FA Cup fixtures. Maybe five or six teams might not be playing, not exactly 50% of the teams.
Yeah.
So, these sort of double game weeks needs to be fully utilized, and a strategy needs to be developed accordingly. So,
Yeah.
Nikhil, what is your strategy?
My strategy, I have already used my uh, wild card, so I'm sorry. I have used one of the chips, so I have to reconsider my strategy. But mostly, I will be saving up on my transfers just for the blank to cover the basis for my base for my blank game week. Then, because I don't want to shuffle a lot because most of my players will play, who are currently in my team will definitely play in the double game week. So I'll rather either play my I'll play my free free hit then and for the game week 18 for the blank game week, and I'll have my players who are already playing gonna play in the double game week. So that's my strategy. But if people haven't used both of them, I think they can use both during those game weeks, right? What's your opinion?
Sounds like a good plan, but I'd like to slightly differ from here from you.
Yeah,
So, when it comes to your double game week strategies, you need to be planning them intricately from the last 4 or 5 game weeks.
yeah,
So here, since there's a blank game week, then we are immediately switching to double game week. It's better to prepare your team for the blank game week. Try and get 8 or 9 players who are playing in the double game week if you don't have your first wild card as of yet still. So if you have your first wild card, which needs to be played by game week 16, then you can take your wild card at game week 16 and make a team in such a manner that you set up for game week 19, right? And play your free hit on game week 18.
yeah,
So one of the strategies can be done. As in my case, since I've used my first wildcard, and so Nikhil, you have also done that.
yeah,
So what I was planning was, since players like Kane, Son, and Manchester City assets, and your even Crystal Palace assets, your Aston Villa assets, then Southampton assets are all playing their game week 18, right? So we can build our team accordingly so that we get prepared for game week 18 and then play the free hit at game week 19. So
Yeah.
by playing that, we can at least ensure that all the big hitters like Salah's, your Bruno Fernandes, your Chilwells, your Reece James, your Antonios, your Nick Popes, maybe, or even um, many of the players. So, you can consider them having them in your free hit team, and then move back accordingly to game week 19.
Yeah, true. There's an interesting news right now that just came right now. Uh, Pep has said in his press conference he might rotate KDB.
So again, with regards to how the team has performed, I presume that this is going to be a long and a tedious title chase, right? So he might be rested in your Carabao Cup fixtures and all those sort of League Cup fixtures and FA Cup fixtures, but I don't think Premier League is the place where KDB might be rotated. But it's again just a wait and watch because Pep says something and gets onto the field with something else.
The
So
famous, infamous
uh,
Pep Roulette.
yeah. So again, nothing is certain about it as of yet. But
Yeah,
yeah, you can make your teams in such a manner that you don't have to rely on them too much, the City assets. But if they are performing, KDB is in the midst of that. And I don't think there's any other player who can fit the profile of as of KDB.
yeah.
So Phil Foden is there, of course, but he lacks that pace and your that cutting edge what KDB has. So
Foden is the only City
again,
player to score more than once away from home. So in the
yeah,
current,
that is true. With regards to his plays and uh, right from the eye test what KDB brings, I don't think Foden or even any other City asset does.
yeah,
In the yesterday years, it was David Silva who could replace what KDB bring onto the table, but um, still KDB is not the uh, there's no other option like for like option for De Bruyne. So I think that at least in the league games, Premier League games, he would be starting. But I don't think with regards to even if he plays 60 minutes and then gets subbed off, he has the chance of fully justifying his price tag. So I don't think that should be an option. That should be a worry for the manager.
interestingly, Hassan Hotel has also hinted on rotation for his main players, considering the League Cup fixtures.
Okay, okay. Yeah, but still, I don't have any Southampton assets as of yet in my team. So,
Many people have
um,
Ings, Che Adams, JWP.
yeah. So, with regards to that, I think that Jay Adams might be rested for maybe a Walcott or someone like that. But again, it's not necessary. So, for me, it's not a worry as of yet. But I'm
Mm,
planning to bring Ings in the future. So maybe would be considering that if he gets rested or something like that. But again, Ings just came back from a long-term injury and he needs playing time to get reach that fitness level. So
yeah,
Ings should not be a problem while starting, but maybe Shea Adams might be prone to your rotation, but I don't
rotation.
think
Yeah,
any player apart from him would be. And there's no right back right for Southampton apart from Kyle Walker-Peters.
yeah.
So I don't think he would be rotated to.
Okay, that's good enough. So which uh, last question based on Twitter, like Someone asked Joel Matip or Westergaard.
Hmm.
Interesting question, but
So
just I was just that's a good shout because both of them are scoring now and playing consistently.
I rather not prefer both and go for Kyle Walker Peters because
Yeah, good shout.
just in terms of his price tag, and even Matip is 5.5 and Westergaard, correct me if I'm wrong, is 4.6 or something.
Yeah.
So that's a very, you can save in your 1 million not on Matip because I don't think he brings.
Also, Matip is not consistent. He has his injuries, so
Yeah, he's always injury prone and he does not get you the attacking returns that you want from a 5.5 defender.
yeah.
He rarely scores your headers and all. Maybe Joe Gomez, when he was there, he used to come in handy with some goals, but not at least Joe Matip. But again, he's a from a clean sheet point of view, he's a decent shout.
See,
Again,
Matip has scored more goals than Joe Gomez. So
but still,
Joe Gomez has
from
zero
from
career
his.
goals. So
Oh, okay. I was wrong here. I just saw him. I just thought that he might be scoring because
Joel Matip
I
is
don't
the
think.
second highest defender who scored for Liverpool in the current team. So,
Oh, okay, okay.
but
So
the
I was
main
wrong there.
issue is
Then
he gets injured. So
yeah, yeah, exactly. For his price tag and considering that he's always rotation prone as well. So
yeah.
I don't think but Westergaard is a good option, but even better is Kyle Walker, considering that they are almost on the same price bracket.
So anything you would like to add?
No, I don't think so. That should be good enough for the podcast, I guess.
Thank you for coming to the podcast and hope you like what we are saying and hope you enjoy and keep
And
following us.
please comment for any questions that you guys have.
Yeah,
We'll be happy to answer those. Right.
keep following us. We'll come with more updates soon. Thank you.
Thank you.